Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Progress Report. This is just going to be a quick one, covering some of the quality of life updates that I've done for my Rebound game that I've ported to STL recently, and also have made available as a web game using Emscripten. I've done a few improvements just to make it a little bit easier to use on a tablet or any other kind of touch device, but also with a mouse as well. The gameplay is much more akin to something that you would have found on an old sort of games portal, but also pretty much works well as kind of an app as well on a phone or a tablet. So let's take a look at what's in progress. Okay, so I've done a little bit of a graphic to show some of the quality of life improvements I have done or would like to do to Rebound and the underlying engine. So let's start with what I've done first. I've added mouse and touch support to the gameplay and the menus. So now if you're in a web browser or on a phone and you go onto the web version of Rebound, you can tap on the screen to start the game, and then you can touch the screen and move the paddle, the player's paddle, to control the game. You can also use the mouse. A nice little side effect of doing this is that it actually feels a lot more fun to play rather than using the mouse and keyboard. So that's good. I'm really happy with that. And we've also fixed the glitchiness of the player and opponent when they reach the edges of the play area. I had a lot of little bugs after I switched from SFML to STL, where when the players are reaching the boundaries, sometimes they would get stuck and sometimes they just kind of go back and forth on a spot. There is, I think, a little bit of glitchiness occasionally still for the opponent when they hit the edges, but I'm still kind of looking into that. But it's much better than it was. So moving on to things that I would like to do immediately, we have update the menus to mention the touch/mouse support. At the moment, everything says hit this key to start, and it's not obvious that you can use the mouse or touch. And of course, there's toggling the music on and off. I think this is quite important because the music is quite obnoxious. I would like to make it a new theme that's a little bit less annoying and a little bit less repetitive. But I used the tools I had at the time, which was EJ. So hopefully I can make something that's a little bit easier on the ears. However, in the time being, I would like to have a sound on-off button or just something that would turn the sound on and off. Feature ideas include updating the sounds and music. Makes sense. I think that I could probably put something together that's a little bit more original and less annoying when it's on loop. New themes. Currently, we have the hockey theme, the temple theme, and the classic Pong theme. I think we could probably add a few more themes just to vary things up a bit. Different game modes. At the moment, the game works on a point system where you get it's the first person who gets to 6. I think that we could benefit from a few different game modes, like maybe like a time trial or a high score system. So yeah, I'm going to try and implement some different modes. I'd like to do a broader refactor as well, which also improves the engine. And that's because I wrote this in 2013. I've learned a lot in terms of programming and software architecture since then. So I would like to try and introduce some new patterns, better ways of doing things, and new functionality. But I think that things do need a bit of a refactor. And that improves any future games and any of my old games that I'm going to port from old code bases. Different screen resolutions, I think, is really important as well. It's at the moment the engine renders everything 640 by 480, which at this point is quite an antiquated resolution to use. I would like to be able to show things in high resolutions, but also different aspect ratios as well. That it's more better suited to modern devices that are generally in sort of 16:9, 16:10. And what would be really good is if I could do this dynamically based on the device that the game's played on. That would be really good if I could do that dynamically and find a way to do that in a nice, elegant way. I'm also thinking of doing some kind of a scoreboard, a high score game mode. And finally, time-based animation. At the moment, everything is sort of frame-based. I've got the thing capped at 30 frames a second, but it's still quite variable based on what device you play it on. I would really like to move towards making the engine use time-based animation. It opens up a lot of opportunity for improving the animations in the games. There's plenty more to do. There's plenty of things that we can add to this. It's an ongoing project. So yeah, that's what there is. So that was just a quick update. I've got plenty of things kind of in the pipeline, some related to Rebound, some related to other video ideas. I'm just working on a bunch of stuff at the moment, but I'm really grateful that you tuned in, and also I'd just like to say thank you for the positive response to my last video. I think we've had a fair amount of people finding my channel through that video, so thank you so much. And for people who subscribed, thanks a lot. I'm working on a bunch of stuff, and it just really helps when people support the channel by watching it, because my ultimate plan is to grow this channel, of course. So thanks a lot, and I'll catch you all in the next one. This has been The Progress Report.